My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite UnderDog Fantasy entry for UFC Vegas 83. If you don't know what UnderDog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you click higher or lower than the numbers you see on the screen, and if you're right, you can 20 times your money. They'll even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. So you have 40. Like that. That was a great snap. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use to build your own entry. You can build an entry with only the free money and then win and 20 times that free money and then withdraw all of it. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. I'm going to break down UFC Vegas 83, but if we look on the left here, all these fancy colors, this is every single sport. It's fake sports like video games, real sports like soccer, college basketball, college football, all the sports. I'm going to focus on UFC Vegas 83. Right off the rip, we got Song Yadong, or Yadong Song, taking on Chris Gutierrez. I don't know what the hell. I'm positive this guy's going to win. I just don't know. Is he going to win early? Is he going to come in there? He's the more powerful guy. His striking is incredible. Is he going to knock out Chris Gutierrez? Or is it going to be a striking clinic for 5 rounds? Potentially some back and forth. Chris Gutierrez will chop his legs, slow him down. I don't know. I do think he wins, but I could see this fight going many different directions, so we're going to leave that alone. I do love 2 different lines on Khalil Rountree. You got to pick one. But I like the higher than 31.5 significant strikes, as well as the higher than 7.5 fight minutes. I'm going to go significant strikes. I have the higher than fight minutes on a bet and in prize picks. So instead of being all in on that one thing, let's go with the significant strikes. Frankly, every time I break this down, I say the same thing. Anthony Smith is insanely tough. His teeth flew out of his mouth. He picked up his teeth. He continued to fight. He's not the type of guy that just gets put out early. He's not the type of guy you hit 3 times, he's going to quit. He is insanely tough, even on short notice. So I think Khalil Rountree is going to land when he wants to land. He's going to be the faster fighter. He's going to get his hands going. He's going to get his kicks going. And whether this ends in finish or by decision, I think he cruises past this 31.5 significant strikes. If you work through his UFC striking stats, outside of some chinny people like Chris Daukaus, he gets past this number pretty frequently. Next fight up, I like it. We're going to go over or higher than 2.5 takedowns on Tim Elliott. You could also go higher than 10 fight minutes, but I'm going to go higher than 2.5 takedowns. If you look at his takedowns per fight average, so a fight is 15 minutes, so 2/3 of that fight is 10 minutes, he's averaging almost 5. So we get 2.5 takedowns over the course of an entire fight instead of just saying the 10 minutes here. So we're going to do 2.5 takedowns. We're going to go higher. I think he's going to come forward, especially on short notice. He's not going to experiment with anything. He's going to come forward, do what he does, which is shoot takedowns, shoot takedowns, shoot takedowns. He does need 3 takedowns here, but I think we're going to be good. I think he's going to get those takedowns early. I think his opponent's going to pop up, and I think we're going to be all set with Tim Elliott. If you don't trust that he will get 3 takedowns, then go the fight minutes. I do think this fight goes a little bit longer. I would have preferred 7.5, right? A round and a half. That's what the betting line is, but we're not going to get that. So I'm going to go over 2.5 takedowns. I can trust this guy to continue to come forward, shoot takedowns, shoot takedowns. Nasrat Haqparast, this little chili pepper, which I don't know what underdog. Your whole thing is a dog. Your logo is a dog with a cape. Why is this a chili pepper? Why is this not a dog bone? Make it a dog bone. And it's even a saying, like, oh, throw him a bone. They're throwing you a bone here. They're juicing some of these lines. They're going to give you Nasrat 2 times. If you add a 2x, it doubles the whole thing. I don't want this, though. I don't think Nasrat's going to win by knockout or by finish. The fact that those are equal makes no sense. Why would you ever do Nasrat by knockout at 2x when you can just do by finish at 2x, which would include a submission as well? We're going to leave this alone, though. I do think that's going to be a competitive fight with Jamie Mullarkey. I do think it likely goes to a decision, and we don't have the option to say less. If you said less than a half a knockout at 2x juiced with the chili pepper, I would have done that, but that is not an option. I'm not going to touch the Jun Young Park line. This is another fight. They're going to juice you. They're going to give you the knockout. That includes TKOs. That might be a decent play. We have just watched Andre Muniz quit on bottom, but we're going to leave that alone. I don't necessarily trust it. Over 9.5 fight minutes, that's probably solid, but we're going to leave that alone. Kevin José, if we take a look at Kevin, 12.5 fight minutes. This is one that I really worked on. I very much was leaning towards the finish, the higher, juicing it with the little chili pepper, or going under 12.5 fight minutes. I ultimately left this out of my lineup because I found some lines that I like more, and I went through Kenan Song's fight history, and it's like, yes, he got finished by Ian, but like he's a durable guy for the most part. I do think Kevin José comes in here, bullies him, potentially gets a finish, but we're going to leave that alone. We're going to scroll down to Melk Costa. I think Melk Costa could absolutely win this fight inside the distance, but they're hiding. Look at this. Clink. They're hiding stuff. We're going to do higher than 7.5 fight minutes. At the end of the day, while I do think he could potentially finish Steve Garcia, and Steve Garcia had the hospitalization last week for whatever reason, I still think it's going to go a little bit longer. Steve Garcia is tough. He gets dropped, all those things. And Melk Costa is dangerous, but he's not like this insane, look at you crooked, drop you with that kind of power. He's like fast, accurate. I still think Steve's going to come forward. I still think he's going to be tough and aggressive. I like the over a round and a half here. If we come down to Luana Santos, I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to go the lower on a juiced female fight line. At the end of the day, Stephanie Egger has incredible submission skills. Luana Santos has incredible power as well as submission skills. I could see this fight not going the distance. Luana Santos should win, but Stephanie Egger has that very high level, very accomplished judoka. That's what you call a judo practitioner. And I think she could potentially pull something off or get finished trying. So we're going to go under or lower than the 14.95. I mean, this is literally 1 minute. If this just finishes at any point in the fight, we're good. And then Tatsuro higher than 2 takedowns. When I saw this line on Prize Picks, I didn't love it. But the longer this week goes on, the more tape I break down, Carlos Hernandez can scramble, can work his way up. So I think he'll get taken down a few times. He'll stand back up. The best part about all this is, though, I'm going to insure the hell out of it. If I left this alone, 5 picks, we could 20 times our money. And there are weeks where that makes sense. There's a couple of questionable things in here. We're going to leave that alone. So we will go to the insured option. That is a 10x payout. If you don't like that payout, let me just remove Melk Costa here, and we'll add the chili pepper. It jumps up to 27.5. We're just going to come back here because I don't think he's going to win by submission. But point being, you can play with the chili peppers to get yourself insane payouts. And you don't need to extend it to 5. You can just pick your most confident 2. And if one of them is a chili pepper, you'll get some incredible odds. So let me just recap. We have Khalil Roundtree, higher than 31.5 significant strikes. You can go higher than 7.5 fight minutes there as well if you'd like. We have Tim Elliott, higher than 2.5 takedowns. You can go higher than the fight minutes there as well. We have Luana Santos, 14.9 fight minutes. We went low. I think there's likely some sort of finish in that matchup. Tatsuro Taira, higher than 2 takedowns. Melk Costa, higher than 7.5 fight minutes. And that is our entry. I always do the insured play. I know it's fist fights. It's fist fights. I'd rather have my insurance and be good. We can get some wrong and still get paid. But the most important part about all of this is get your free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. That promo code is WWP. Get that free money. Build your entry and let us know in our free Discord. The link to that is in the description below.